I just saw this video of a guy named Coyote Peterson casually holding a poison dart frog, the deadliest frog on the planet. And this made me wonder if they're really as scary as people make them out to be. So for this video, I came up with a brilliant idea to try and keep one as a pet. So I searched online to find a place near me that might actually have poison dart frogs. And eventually I found a place that had tons of different options. Now all that's left to do is head over to my exotic pet store, and hopefully they have some of these poison dart frogs still in stock. This pet store had some of the craziest animals I've ever seen, but it didn't take me long to find the poison dart frog. They had so many different colors, and it's kind of crazy you can get one of these poison dart frogs for only $60. The pet store also had everything we would need to set up his dream home, including substrate, these little tiny wooden hides, and tons of different plants to make him feel like he's actually in the rainforest. After getting all of that and a few other essentials, we were able to go back to the frogs and actually decide which one we wanted to bring home. I knew I wanted one of the blue ones, so I decided to pick out the biggest one inside the tank. But these frogs are actually super small, so one of the only things you can feed them is these fruit flies, which is their favorite food, but I also got a few crickets to try later on. Once we got everything we needed, we could check out and head home with our brand new pet frog. Once I saw this frog compared to everything we bought for him, I realized I might need to come back later on in this video and get him a little friend. For now, I got everything loaded in the back of the car, and it was time to leave the exotic pet store with our brand new frog. I decided to keep him in the front seat with me, but just like that, we were home, and it was time for the fun part, which is setting up this guy's dream home. So I got this 10-gallon terrarium right here, and basically we just need a hiding place, water, and tons of plants before we can add our pet frog. We want this tank to look as natural as possible, so I got this substrate made specifically for frogs, and it will also help the plants grow. I really didn't know how much I should add, so I just decided to put the whole bag. Now that we got about 2 inches of substrate across the whole bottom, we can start adding in all of these plants. I ended up getting 4 plants, which I hope is enough to just give him some hiding spots and make him feel at home. I wanted this tank to look good, but I also wanted it to have a lot of open room so I could add more plants in the future and even more frogs. So to do this, I added all of the biggest and tallest plants at the back and then left a lot of room at the front for me to add the smaller ones and even more in the future. And if you guys couldn't tell, the poison dart frogs are super small. So although this tank is only 10 gallons, it is plenty big for all the frogs we could want. But just like that, all of the plants were in and it looks so natural, and I think the frogs are gonna absolutely love it. I also got that mister for this tank to make sure all the plants stay constantly watered and none of them die. And then with all the plants in, we can give our little frog a sneak peek of where he's gonna be in 20 minutes. And of course, our frog needs another place to hide, so I got this little log that is perfectly carved out, and it should make a little tiny home for our frog. And these frogs are super tiny, so there's definitely room in here for more than one. And then I got this water dish. I know frogs don't really drink, but he's definitely gonna want to swim in here a little bit. And just like that, all the accessories were added to our tank, and this was the finished product. I decided to keep it a little simple so I could add more plants in the future, but as of now, I think it looks fantastic for just one dart frog. But the final thing to do before we add this frog to the tank is fill up his water dish, because frogs absorb water through their skin, so the only way he can drink is if we spray him down or if he takes a bath. Here's our little frog. Time to add him into his brand new home, and before we do, make sure to leave some names in the comments for this guy, because we are going to have him for a long time. And hopefully by the end of this video, he will have a brand new friend, so he won't be lonely in this tank. I thought I would add this in there, but right when I tried putting him in the tank, he jumped out of my hand and got on the floor and started running away, so I might have just risked my life, but these poison dart frogs aren't really that deadly. But don't worry, I washed my hands really well after holding him. But back to it, we got him inside the tank, and this thing is such an upgrade compared to where he was at the store. Now he actually has an ecosystem to live in. And not even 5 minutes later, he was already sitting on the edge of his water bowl taking a little bath. I know this guy's gonna do so well in here, but it looks so empty with just one frog. So after I feed him and get him adjusted, I think we're gonna head back to the pet store to get him a brand new friend. I also caught him trying to escape a few times, so I had to add the lid to this tank, which I was gonna do anyway, but I have to do it now before he escapes. And now that everything is done and our frog is in his brand new home, I think the best thing to do is let him sit overnight so he gets adjusted, and we'll try feeding him in the morning. Which brings us to day 2 of having our poison dart frog, and I think the first thing we should do is fill up his little mister so we can get all the plants and him watered down. I was kind of trying to figure out the mister, and it's actually kind of fun to use, so I decided to just do this for like 5 minutes and make sure everything was properly hydrated. And these are high flightless fruit fly culture things. Yep. Basically, they're fruit flies that can't fly, so we're going to try feeding these to him and see if he wants. I accidentally added about 100 of these, but I heard that poison dart frogs can eat up to 50 per day, which is crazy. Our frog immediately started jumping around and checking out all the fruit flies, but he wasn't quite sure what to do, and then a lot of them started getting stuck in the water before I saw him grab one off the side. It was absolutely crazy to see him eat in his second day in the tank, but then right after that, he went for another and got it again. Our frog was a little overstimulated and was hunting fruit fly after fruit fly after fruit fly, but eventually he got a little full, and when he tried to get this one, he ended up just grabbing it. He even hopped in the water dish to grab this fruit fly that was on the leaf, and he was taking a bath while eating. He absolutely loved the fruit flies, but I also decided to get him some of these tiny little crickets so we could see if he would eat one. I was told he probably wouldn't eat these crickets because they're still way too big for such a tiny frog, but these are the smallest crickets you can possibly buy, so we're gonna try it anyway. I started dumping him in the tank, and immediately I saw him react to these crickets. He was so petrified of them, he started jumping away. So I think the crickets actually scared him, but maybe I'll try again one day to see if he's big enough to eat it. Our little guy looked so full after all those fruit flies, but he was looking a little bored, so I decided to get him some things to add to the tank and maybe make it a little more interesting. And maybe I also got him a new friend while I was at the store. These things are made for betta fish, but I saw this little leaf and I thought our little dar frog might like to take a nap up there one day, so I got it and stuck it to the side. I doubt he'll ever use it, but maybe. And then I got another thing made for betta fish, but I got these dried leaves that I can lay across the bottom of the tank. I want these frogs to feel as at home as possible, so adding these leaves will make it feel like they're actually in the jungle. I ended up not using all of the leaves because I didn't want to overdo it, but I added a few to the bottom of the tank, and I think he's gonna love them. And the next day I caught him sitting on the leaf, so I decided to feed him, and immediately he went after the fruit flies yet again. Of course he's gonna eat as many of these as possible every single day. But after a few days of having this frog, I decided he was looking a little lonely in his tank, and it was time to get back in the car and head over to our exotic pet store to pick out yet another poison dar frog. I didn't know which poison dar frog I was gonna get, but when I got into the store, I immediately knew which one I wanted because they had the yellow ones that they had last time along with the blue ones like the one we got. But then I saw one that they didn't have last time, which was these little tiny green and black ones, and they looked awesome. So I was forced to choose between these yellow and blue ones, which were also really, really cool, and I probably will get them, or these green and black ones. So of course I had to go with the green and black. It's basically like the OG poison dar frog, like the ones you see on National Geographic. So of course it's gonna make an awesome addition to our tank. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering how I'm actually holding a poison dar frog, and it's because they actually get their poison from what they eat in the wild, which usually consists of ants and other little tiny insects that have poison of their own, so it makes them really, really toxic. But in captivity, most of the time, they're completely harmless. But here we go, I added the new frog to his tank, and he immediately started to explore, and he even found our other frog. I came back a little later, and they were already taking a bath together, so I'm pretty sure that's a really, really good sign. And about 2 hours later, I tried feeding them yet again, and our brand new one already started eating. I saw him grab one right away. And I thought this was a little weird since our blue one took about a day and a half to eat, but he was already eating multiple at a time. But I can't wait to keep feeding these frogs and watching them grow because they are not even half of their full-grown size, so they're gonna get a lot bigger. But leave some names in the comments for both of our little frogs here, and maybe I'll go back in another video and get even more of these poison dar frogs. And if you guys are still watching at this point in the video, I really appreciate it, so make sure to like and subscribe because I want to make a lot more videos just like this, but I edit and film all of them all by myself. So if there's any editors in the comments and you want to reach out to me, go over to Instagram at fishwithgunnar and you can DM me. I'll probably hire you if you have any experience at all, because editing these videos by myself is getting a little hard. And I also am trying to save up for a camera to make some more high quality content for you guys. But as of now, I am still filming on my iPhone 16 Pro and editing all my videos on CapCut, which is kind of crazy, but it's been working for me for the past few months. So we're gonna keep at it. But if you guys want to see more content just like this, let me know in the comments down below. Leave some names for our brand new 2 frogs, and I'll see you guys back here in one of the next videos. If you have any other video ideas, let me know in the comments too. I'm more than glad to listen to you guys. And a lot of my inspiration for this video came from another YouTuber called Terrarium. He makes a lot more cool videos just like this one, but he's actually a professional at it and his editing is top notch. So go subscribe to him, subscribe to me, leave a like, comment some names, and I'll see you guys back here in the next one. Wait, I already said that, but thank you for watching. Bye-bye.